Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session, the BCcampus Open Publishing Suite, Guides for Your Open Publishing Initiative. My name is Arianna Cheveldave, Coordinator Open Education for BCcampus. I have worked in publishing since 2016, publishing magazines, newspapers, literary fiction and nonfiction, and open textbooks.
My name is Kaitlyn Zheng. I am the coordinator of Open Textbook Publishing at BCcampus. I have worked in open publishing since 2019 and have participated in publishing various open educational resources.
We would like to acknowledge the traditional unceded lands that we live on. I come to you today from the ancestral territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, commonly known as Vancouver, British Columbia.
And I am on the ancestral lands of the Esquimals and Songhees nations of the Waquanian people and the Wissanic peoples, colonially known as Victoria, British Columbia. BCcampus is an organization founded by the BC Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills Training and tasked with improving post-secondary education in British Columbia. In 2012, BCcampus Open Education was initially asked to source or create open textbooks for the 40 most popular first and second year post-secondary courses in the province. During the past 10 years, BCcampus has digitally published over 130 open textbooks that are free for anyone to access in our open textbook collections at open.bccampus.ca. To help ourselves and others publish open educational resources, we have created a suite of open publishing resources that we would like to share with you today. These resources include the Getting Started Guide, the BCcampus Open Education Publishing Style Guide, the Self-Publishing Guide, the Accessibility Toolkit, and the Pressbooks Guide. We are going to introduce each resource to you and let you know how you might use it for your own open publishing initiatives. Let's get started with the Getting Started Guide. The Getting Started Guide at opentextbc.ca/gettingstarted is an introductory guide for BCcampus authors that explains our publishing processes and links to support resources. In the first chapter, we outline the workflow and responsibilities of authors and the BCcampus OER production team. This table details the responsibilities of authors or project leads as the resource is planned, created or adapted, and prepared for review and editing. The table also contains links to where more information on each topic can be found in relevant support resources. On the same page, we outline the responsibilities of the production team. This lets authors know ahead of time what they don't need to worry about so they can focus on what they're responsible for. As the essence of open education is to provide access to education for as many as possible at low or no cost, we follow the framework of UDL, Universal Design for Learning, to provide multiple means of engagement, representation, action, and expression. This section provides links and videos that can help ensure your resource will be accessible for all students, including students with disabilities and different levels of access to technology. We include an accessibility checklist that we use for every resource we publish. We also have an accessibility toolkit dedicated to creating accessible open textbooks that we will cover later in this presentation.
The next resource we wanted to spotlight is the BCcampus Open Education Publishing Style Guide, located at opentextbc.ca/publishing style guide. This is where we document processes, standards, and styles for all our open educational resources. Although this document is mainly for internal use, we make this guide public so that those we work with may better understand why we make certain decisions, and so that other publishing initiatives may be inspired by our practices. This guide contains procedures and responsibilities for BCcampus staff and authors, specifications about common book elements, like the front and back matter, and documentation related to appearance and design, such as standard style sheets and theme options in our publishing platform. One tool in this book is the Initial Assessment Checklist. This is a list of questions we ask when we receive a completed manuscript that is ready to be formatted. This process helps us determine what work needs to be done on the book and estimate how long it may take to prepare the book for public release. Topics we investigate include accessibility, consistent use of style and structure elements, like numbering and text boxes, and technical performance of export formats. Questions we may ask include, are numbered and bulleted lists set up correctly, i.e. not inserted as plain text? Are links accessible? Are videos and audio properly attributed at the end of each chapter? Another feature in this guide is the Standard Practices and Workarounds page. This page houses documentation on style decisions and common problems that are not already addressed in other sections of the guide. Among other things, this page includes handy HTML, such as how to create fill-in-the-blank spaces or how to insert editing marks, as well as create different kinds of lists. There's information about how to embed multimedia, like videos, or if you go back to the top, there's information about audio. And go right back to the very bottom. We have guidelines on how to write consistent URLs. Production staff know to consult this page before posing a question to the rest of the team, thus improving communication and efficiency. The Self-Publishing Guide, located at opentextbc.ca/self-publish-guide, is a step-by-step guide to writing, editing, and publishing an open textbook without the support of a publisher. It may seem odd to talk about self-publishing at a library publishing conference, but the Self-Publishing Guide is useful not just to independent authors. This guide also contains items pertinent to publishing initiatives, such as information about open copyright, tools for finding and attributing OER, and checklists to keep you on track. The Project Charter and Timeline section in the Self-Publishing Guide contains a list of tasks that you must do before, during, and after the publishing of an open textbook. It reminds you to gather existing resources, write a book outline, undergo peer review, and fix as you go. This list also contains many helpful links to other sections of the guide. There are also 2 Word templates for a project charter and timeline that you can download to help you plan out your open textbook project. Also in this guide is the Copyright and Open Licenses chapter. This chapter explains in detail what copyright is and how open licenses work. This is a helpful resource for publishers venturing into open publishing for the first time, as well as prospective authors who may be interested in writing an open textbook but are unfamiliar with open licenses. The Accessibility Toolkit is a technical guide for making web content accessible. This is a practical reference for how to ensure that your headings, links, multimedia, tables, images, and more are accessible to people of all abilities. If you believe in making textbooks available to all, then accessibility is an important principle to follow. You can find this guide at opentextbc.ca/accessibilitytoolkit. For information on why accessibility is important and who we do accessibility work for, read the chapters in the Key Concepts part in the toolkit. This part introduces universal design, which is a design approach that anticipates learner variability. This part also introduces user personas, which help you imagine the kind of person who needs accessible web content. This section shows a collection of students who have different accessibility needs that you must consider when creating OER. In addition to all the best practices for making web content accessible, this toolkit also has a section on accessibility statements. An accessibility statement appears at the beginning of a textbook and explains its accessibility features and limitations. This chapter provides helpful do's and don'ts for writing an accessibility statement, such as do use clear and simple language, and don't make false claims or ignore known accessibility issues. At the end of the chapter is the accessibility statement that is included in BCcampus books.
The last resource we want to share with you today is our Pressbooks guide at opentextbc.ca/Pressbooks. Pressbooks is a WordPress-based open-source content management platform that is used by many open publishing initiatives in North America to create and publish open educational resources. This resource was created from an author's perspective and walks you through the steps needed to create or modify an open educational resource in Pressbooks. Throughout this resource, we link to additional support resources, including our Pressbooks video tutorial series. As the digital publishing platform, Pressbooks allows you to embed a variety of media elements. This chapter gives you detailed information on how to embed a YouTube video, how to add video captions, how to add audio clips, and how to insert interactive materials created using H5P. In the final section of the Pressbooks guide, we provide a catalog of Pressbooks support resources, including slides and recordings of BCcampus Pressbooks webinars, a list of Pressbooks tutorial videos, the LaTeX support we offer, a link to Pressbooks FAQ in our BCcampus answer guide, and where you can find more information about Pressbooks updates and providing feedback.
Thank you for attending our presentation. We hope that the BCcampus Open Publishing Suite can provide something of value to your publishing initiative. To find the resources we mentioned today, see our slide deck, which we will attach to our session page in Sched.
Thank you again for listening. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them now.